What do you think about when Karl Malone gets included on teams like this?
I like it. I mean, I think he's top 20.
He got a 13-year-old pregnant. Timeout? You need a timeout? A 30-second?
From Patrick Beverley reconsidering his loyalty to Karl Malone to Victor Wembanyama's viral backlash. These NBA figures all turned on Malone because of his personal history, which permanently stained what was once viewed as a spotless career. Here's why the mailman's legacy is being rejected and returned to sender. Victor Wembanyama calls for Karl Malone's imprisonment. When the NBA's official history account chose to wish Karl Malone a happy 62nd birthday on July 24, 2025, they likely anticipated the standard wave of heart emojis and highlight clips. Instead, they unleashed complete chaos in the comment section, with more than 2,000 replies overwhelmingly dragging the mailman through the dirt. But the real story is not anonymous keyboard warriors raging from basement sofas. The real story is that Victor Wembanyama, the generational San Antonio superstar, the 7'4" French phenom expected to be too young and too European to care about decades-old American basketball scandals, decided to jump directly into the fire. Now, let's be absolutely precise about what happened here, because the details matter. Wembanyama did not write a thoughtful statement about accountability or ethics. He didn't host a press conference or release a polished response through representatives. Instead, the young star simply reposted a meme video from a fan account featuring content creator Lil Rodney's son, completely losing it over the NBA's tribute. The clip showed a man reacting in total disbelief, shouting words to the effect,
"What? Oh no, see that's what we not better do. Police, lock his ass up. Yes, you need to be under the jail." Like what? What you say? Yeah, arrest him immediately.
Wembanyama added no commentary whatsoever. Not a single sentence, not even an emoji. Just a repost that carried more weight than any carefully scripted statement ever could. The message was unmistakable. This 21-year-old basketball prodigy from France, a country where American NBA scandals rarely dominate public discourse, was effectively endorsing the belief that Karl Malone belongs behind bars, not on a birthday graphic from the league he once ruled. Social media exploded in response to Wembanyama's move. Spurs fans immediately began drawing connections that maybe shouldn't exist, eagerly noting Malone's history of throwing elbows and pointing out that Spurs icon David Robinson had once been on the receiving end of Malone's brutality. Whether Wembanyama knew that history, or was simply reacting to widely circulated accounts of Malone's off-court behavior is unclear. But the timing felt poetic to San Antonio fans who never forget and never forgive. The controversy traces back to 1983, when Karl Malone, then a 20-year-old sophomore at Louisiana Tech, impregnated 13-year-old Gloria Bell. At the time, Louisiana's age of consent was 17, making the act statutory rape, a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Charges were never filed because Bell's family reportedly chose not to pursue them, believing legal action would derail Malone's basketball future and prevent financial support for the child. That child, Demetrius Bell, later became an NFL offensive lineman drafted by the Buffalo Bills in 2008. His relationship with Malone, however, was nearly non-existent throughout his youth. When they eventually met after Demetrius finished high school, Malone allegedly told him it was too late to build a father-son relationship and that he needed to figure life out alone. Demetrius later described the situation as if his mother had gone to a sperm bank, a heartbreaking summary of abandonment that reveals deep emotional damage. Malone himself has shown little remorse or interest in publicly addressing the issue. In 2023, when the story resurfaced, he brushed it off, saying, "I'm not discussing any of that backlash. I don't care. That's my life. That's my personal life, and I'll deal with it like I always have, so whatever." That dismissive attitude toward what many view as unforgivable has only intensified outrage surrounding his legacy. Reactions to Wembanyama's repost were overwhelmingly positive. Reddit users praised the young star for confronting what older players and league officials have avoided for decades. Twitter flooded with memes reading, "Wemby retweeted a video implying Karl Malone should be locked up," paired with laughing emojis and applause. Many fans saw it as a generational shift, younger players refusing to stay silent about problematic figures, simply because they were great scorers. Critics argued Wembanyama should stick to basketball and avoid controversies older than him. But those opinions were drowned out. The moment highlighted a shift in today's NBA. The new generation is paying attention, and they are unwilling to let history be rewritten because someone owns a statue or Hall of Fame plaque. But if you think Wembanyama's silent repost was the most intense NBA reaction to Malone's past, you haven't seen Patrick Beverley's response after learning the truth on his podcast. Patrick Beverley's stunned reaction to Karl Malone's dark secret. Beverley built his career on saying what others think but won't say. The former guard spent 12 seasons irritating superstars, hounding on defense, and becoming one of the league's most quotable personalities. When he launched the Pat Bev podcast with Roan, fans expected raw takes and unfiltered honesty that traditional sports shows avoid. What nobody expected was Beverly himself becoming the story. During an episode released around August 7, 2025, Beverly and co-host Adam Ferrone were doing a hypothetical all-time NBA draft. The concept was simple: build the greatest roster using legends. Beverly, showing genuine respect for greatness, selected Karl Malone based purely on accolades. Two-time MVP, 14 All-Star, third all-time in scoring with 928 points. Malone and John Stockton formed one of basketball's most lethal duos. Then Ferrone asked the question that changed everything: should off-court behavior affect rankings? Beverly admitted he knew almost nothing about Malone's life beyond basketball. What followed became one of the most authentic moments ever recorded on a basketball podcast. Ferrone revealed the core facts. In 1983, Karl Malone, a 20-year-old college player, impregnated a 13-year-old girl. Beverly's response went viral instantly. He literally called a timeout on his own show.
What do you think about when Karl Malone gets included on teams like this?
I like it. I mean, I think he's top 20 greatest players to play.
You think Karl Malone is? But what about his off-the-court stuff? You know, does that factor in it at all?
I really don't know a lot of off-the-court stuff about Karl.
He got a 13-year-old pregnant. Timeout? You need a timeout? A 30-second?
No, fool.
Full?
I need a full timeout.
When Ferrone confirmed Malone's age, and that it occurred while he was a college student in Louisiana, Beverly's expression completely changed. His jaw dropped, eyes widened, and he fell silent for several seconds, which for Patrick Beverly is equivalent to being emotionally knocked unconscious.
You wait a second. I have a question.
Talk to me.
When you said 13-year-old pregnant, was he 16?
I think he was a grown-up. Let's check. He was 20, and he got a 13-year-old pregnant. That doesn't seem cool to me.
Wow. I didn't.
The kid did go on to go to the I think the NFL. Demetrius Bell was his name, but I don't think Karl Malone was in his life at all, and he said he treats it like his mom went to the sperm bank.
The clip spread like wildfire, with fans praising Beverly for reacting the only reasonable way. Comments called it priceless and said it was the most likable Pat Bev moment ever. Fellow players joined in, with Lou Williams posting the clip captioned, "Yeah, buddy," which Beverly retweeted while admitting, "I did not know this. Bro, I must live under a rock." Observers noted the irony that Victor Wembanyama, a 21-year-old French player only 2 seasons into the league, knew about Malone's scandal, while Beverly, a 37-year-old American veteran immersed in NBA culture, was blindsided. It revealed how effectively the NBA buried this history. The league knew, the Utah Jazz knew, media members in the 80s and 90s knew. Yet everyone allowed a man who impregnated a child to be celebrated. Beverly's shock exposed how professional sports protect certain legends. Fans pointed out that Beverly had attended events honoring Malone without ever hearing this discussed. That says everything about the bubble surrounding stars regardless of conduct. The NBA chooses which scandals to acknowledge and which to hide beneath highlights. Beverly's reaction forced millions to confront the truth that Malone's past would end any modern career instantly. But Malone's issues didn't stop there. Another incident involved someone unwilling to tolerate inappropriate behavior, and she happened to be married to one of the fiercest competitors ever. Kobe Bryant's furious confrontation over Vanessa. The 2003-2004 Lakers looked unstoppable on paper, shocked Kobe, Gary Payton, and Karl Malone chasing his first ring. In reality, the team was a ticking time bomb. Before the collapse on the court, something detonated off it, nearly leading to a physical fight between Hall of Famers. When Malone joined the Lakers, he formed what seemed like a genuine friendship with Kobe. Families socialized, trust formed, and Malone became a mentor figure. That's why what followed was devastating. Around November 23, 2004, during a Lakers home game, Malone attended sidelined by injury. Vanessa Bryant was present, and according to Kobe's agent Rob Pelinka, Malone made comments that left her uncomfortable. He allegedly invited her for a hug, asked personal questions, and made disturbing remarks. Later, when Vanessa jokingly asked what he was hunting in his cowboy outfit, Malone allegedly replied, "I'm hunting little Mexican girls," referencing her heritage. She walked away and told Kobe everything. Kobe immediately called Malone, furious. In a December 2004 interview, Kobe described feeling betrayed and hurt, insisting there was no misunderstanding. However, while speaking to James Haley, he said,
"Any way to mend your relationship with Karl? I mean, some time has gone by. Is there any way that you can see to mend this problem?" No, not on a personal relationship. I mean, when all that stuff happened, I mean, we kept our mouths shut. It is what it is. I mean, you let him and his family deal with that situation or whatever.
Malone's response through his agent denied wrongdoing, claiming the comments were jokes and calling the situation a Hollywood soap opera. The tension contributed to his departure from the Lakers, and the relationship was never repaired. Malone's conflicts didn't end there. His aggressive playstyle made enemies, including Dominique Wilkins. Wilkins, a fierce competitor himself, accused Malone of being dirty rather than physical. He told Malone directly that he was a cheap, shot artist who targeted smaller players. Wilkins contrasted him with Buck Williams, a physical but clean power forward, saying he had no respect for Malone. The evidence supported this. Malone elbowed Isaiah Thomas, knocking him unconscious, injured David Robinson, bloodied Steve Nash, and repeatedly crossed lines. Hakeem Olajuwon also criticized Malone and the Jazz for dirty play disguised as toughness. Retrospective rankings place Malone among the dirtiest players ever. Yet his off-court behavior remained largely ignored. Even team owners noticed. Rockets owner Leslie Alexander publicly called for Malone's suspension during the 2004 playoffs after violent incidents involving Yao Ming. Alexander said Malone's behavior was wrong for the sport. Malone dismissed the criticism arrogantly, saying he didn't care. The Rockets lost the series, Malone retired ringless, and the pattern continued. Deny, dismiss, move on. The NBA always knew who Karl Malone was. They saw the blood, the elbows, and the damage, yet continued celebrating him. Leslie Alexander called it out years ago. The mailman wasn't just physical. He was dangerous, dirty, and indifferent to who he hurt. That is Karl Malone's real legacy, and no trophies will ever erase it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, click the card on your screen for more.